Hi Lifers, I'm here at the Atlanta Day Shelter for Women and Children because we're going to be doing a back to school drive with Atlantic Station this coming August 11th. And I wanted to get some footage and some information so that you would know what the Atlanta Day Shelter is doing for the Metro Atlanta area. They provide wonderful services for women with children, and the children themselves, from health care to job counseling, as well as mental health counseling, and so much more. We'll have more of this information for you, as well as some footage on YourLifeAfter25.com. Hi guys, I'm here with Jenny Nichols from the Atlanta Day Shelter. Of course, we are serving Metro Atlanta, and honestly, this is a fabulous organization. They are working hard to make sure that the youth is taken care of, as well as women and their children, and I just think it was really great. So we're excited to be working with them on our back to school drive with Atlantic Station. I wanted to get some information about what they do here because they have the job counseling that they do here. Tell us a little bit about how you guys are aiding the women with searching for jobs and these services that you do provide.
Absolutely. We are open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We see on average about 140 women and children a day. Through our job readiness program, our counselor will meet with our guests. She sees about 49 women a day, and she will help them with resumes, cover letters. She helps them do job searches. As you can see here on our wall, we have all sorts of job postings and career fairs that are coming up. We also will help them secure copies of birth certificates and legal identifications. A lot of people take for granted the fact that here in the state of Georgia, you have to have 2 forms of legal identification.
Just to get a lot of things done.
Exactly, just to get things done and to also have a job. Well, those birth certificates, to get a copy of a state of Georgia birth certificate, is $25.
Wow.
Which might not sound like a lot of money to you and I, but to them, it can be a month's worth of panhandling or soliciting funds on the street. So we will work with them to get copies of those. We also provide MARTA passes to get to and from job interviews. We have a professional clothing closet, a women's clothing closet, and then also a children's clothing closet. So we'll get them outfitted for everything from going back to school to starting a new job.
Okay, great. Well, I mean, right now we're working on the back to school drive for the children so that they can have the same opportunities as everybody else. But of course, if you do want to donate things like suits or clothing for the women, that's also an option.
Absolutely. And we just ask that you please bring it in clean and that you bring it in based upon the season. So when it's hot outside, think spring and summer, and when it's cold outside, think fall and winter clothing. We regretfully don't have a ton of space here to store off-season clothing, so we are limited. But for the children, we love tennis shoes. Kids' feet are constantly growing, so if your kids have grown out some shoes and you've got some extra around the house, we'd love to have those, especially for going back to school. We try and get the kids some new shoes.
Yeah, that's I mean, of course, always when you're doing your back to school shopping in general, kids need new shoes, new backpacks, you know, new jackets and things like that. So that's definitely...
Well, and one of our biggest needs this year with our back to school drive is not only the backpacks, the markers, the hand sanitizer, the Kleenex, the notebooks, all of that great stuff, but a lot of the public schools have now gone to a uniform.
Oh, yeah.
So our kids need khaki shorts, khaki pants, khaki skirts, and they need collared golf shirts in blue, yellow, and white.
And no logos.
No logos is really important. And you can find those right now. Old Navy and Target both have set up special back-to-school uniform sections where you can go in, and we need all sizes. Last year we served 1,105 children. We did over 475 backpacks filled with supplies. And we also did over 60 uniforms for the kids. So we would love any of those supplies, and we appreciate everything you've done. It's been great partnering with you.
Thank you so much. It is our pleasure. We're hoping that with this back to school drive that we're doing with Atlantic Station, we'll be able to double that amount We'll definitely have more of this information for you on yourlifeafter25.com. And here we are in the medical clinic where they are servicing the women and the children with their health. What kind of services do you provide for the guests here?
We actually partner with St. Joseph's Mercy Care in Capon. They come in 3 days a week, and we do free medical care here on site. Everything from vision and hearing and dental checks and preliminary overviews to back to school checkups. Good. We're getting ready to start those, so it's going to get really busy here. We do immunizations, flu shots. We do the nasal flu for the children and for the older adults. We also do things like emergency care. One of the biggest issues our guests have is actually with their feet. We partner with Village Podiatry. They come in twice a year, and we do foot screenings. We do some education and preventative exercises. If y'all remember about a year ago, in January, we were all bogged down with ice. We had a lot of problems with our guests' frostbite because their socks would get wet and they wouldn't have anything else to put on, and so they left them on and they'd freeze outside. So we've done a lot as far as educating them on the importance of keeping dry and clean socks on their feet, which is great because we actually have here at the shelter a laundry facility.
Okay.
And we're one of the only shelters that provides access to free laundry. So our nurses and our doctors will also talk to the women about personal hygiene, the importance of staying clean to stay healthy. We do prenatal care. We do post-birth care as far as educating the moms on how to start to care for a newborn, the importance of nutrition.
That's good.
We have a wonderful garden club that meets twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays that's headed up by Emory Nurses College Program. And they will come in and they not only use it as a great tool to get our guests outside and in the fresh air, but they also use it as an opportunity to teach nutrition.
That's good.
And the importance of making sure you have your fruits and your vegetables. And growing things in small pots, because oftentimes when our guests do get a home, they're in an apartment.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of container garden education. You
how
can
to
grow
do
a tomato.
urban gardens and things like that. That's
and
great.
The importance of growing fresh herbs so that they can use those instead of salt.
Okay, well, so that even gives me a couple ideas, because even though we're doing the back to school drive for the children, there are still plenty of mothers and women here that need your help also. So as we spoke about the children needing shoes, obviously the adults also need shoes.
Absolutely.
Maybe things like the herbs to plant, maybe donating seeds for things like that. So there are other opportunities for you to help, not just for the children, but for the adults that are taking care of these children also. So I think that's great that you are providing the healthcare service, because yes, they need somewhere to get the job training skills and all that, but they have to keep their health up, and I think that's important. As far as women's health, what are some of the services that you provide for the women? For the women
themselves, probably one of our most utilized services is our mental health counseling. We have a wonderful program. I always tell people, you think about where you are in your life right now, and imagine waking up tomorrow out on the street. And just the anxiety and the stress that builds up. So one of the greatest things we can do, and one of the programs we're really looking at expanding, is our counseling program. And we're actually looking right now for some sponsors and some funders to help us do that. We would love to add an art therapy program and a music therapy program, not only for the women, but also for the children. Just because you have to imagine, just take for 1 minute, take your car away, take your house away. Take away your job, and your heart just starts to pound. So we do a lot with them, just working through some of the anxieties and the issues that surround that kind of stress. We also, obviously, like I said, do some of the basic health care. The majority of our guests have no insurance. And you think of most adults during the course of a year will get sick at least once.
And then not to speak of children, how often they get sick.
Absolutely, especially once they're in school and they're trading toys and they're picking up germs everywhere. But we also will work with our guests at our front desk. We will provide Tylenol, cough drops. If anybody's out there and they run by Sam's or Costco and see a big box of cough drops and want to bring those by the shelter, we go through cough drops like crazy during the winter. Little things like, Tylenol, Advil. Our guests don't have the means to go out and buy a $7 bottle of Tylenol.
Yeah.
So we'll provide them with access to those medications as well.
Okay, like I said, there's so much that you can do to help. I think that what you guys are doing here is so wonderful. We're just happy that you're allowing us to be a part of this, and we hope that we can continue with this relationship.
Absolutely.
And continue helping. We'll make sure we have more information on Your Life After 25 on how you can continue to help the Atlanta Day Shelter for Women and Children. Thank you all for staying tuned, and we'll have more footage for you from our actual back-to-school drive, too.